the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Sim. It's been a little while since we were last on. It's got to be at least 6 weeks, I reckon, since we last played. I'm just looking at all of our junk is over here. But welcome in there, Penguin. What mischief are you getting yourself up to? We have the best methods of transporting stuff here as well. Oh, hang on, what's this glitch in the matrix over here? It was like a weird visual anomaly just in that leak behind there. What else did we have? We have a harvestery thing, a trailery thing, and another tractor. I think that's actually all we've got. Yeah, that's everything we've got. I kind of wanted to see a little bit of oh, what the hell do you call it? Oh, what do you call it? The baling. I was going to try and see if we had like a baling contract, but all of the contracts just I tried to click on one, and then everything all just disappeared. So I'm assuming that contracts are still buggered. If I press clear and then renew, will that give us anything? Harvest, sowing. Evening, Mr. Smith. What's that? Oh dear Lord, what am I looking at? Oh, I'm hoping that the contracts aren't all broken again. I mean, I've got like the better contracts mod, but nothing's coming in. One cultivating job. I think just to get started, I'm going to borrow the equipment for 360 quid, and just as a warm up, I'll do whatever this one is here. What's that? I'm trying not to peel my skin off of all the. Oh, I know. Our like kitchen is riddled with bloody fruit fly, and day before, we came home, and the wall in the living room was just completely coated in ants. So we went like full on massacre with them. There we go. Where were we going? I see the mango. Field 39, which apparently... Actually, I could have brought this up at full screen. Oh, it's a little one up the top there. That's okay. That's okay for a 5-minute warm-up. Here we go. But absolutely... I managed to get some of the vinegary stuff as well. I'm going to try and see if I can get the fruit flies to kill themselves in that as well. Follow this road. Same here. No food or liquids left. Left out boiled water in the drains and everything. I counted 12 different insects in the kitchen alone last night. Yeah. I say that's absolute. It is absolute bloody hell. Couldn't believe just there must have been hundreds of the ants all in the living room. Used the only thing we had was like the fly spray stuff, so we just I think we just more or less drowned them all in it. There were no survivors. Oh, look at this! There's gridlock here again. I think I'm going the right way. Actually, maybe it's not. We'll cut across country. There's bound to be a small route to take us through, because it's only a little field, I think, that we're going to. I think that might be a pathway there. I can just see it in the distance on that field. Yeah, that's kind of the road I was thinking of. Honestly, I used to hate spiders, but over the last 2 years, they've become my favourite in the house. Yeah. Do you know, after we'd used the spray, we kind of then thought, oh, we should have just brought the girls in. But now that we've used the spray, obviously the girls can't go in into that room for a long, long time. Not risking any contamination from our babies. Even like all the clothes as well, all got put straight in the wash. Here we go. You let spiders roam your house there, Mr. Smith. Oh, hang on. Why is this road going down? Is it the road that goes to the way we want to go? I think we could build a stack to get up to, like a stack of bales to climb up all the way to that in the sky, to the balloon. Yeah, this is definitely not the right way to go to get to where we need to be. So how the hell did we get onto that road? Oh, I think we had to go all the way to the top of field 7, then back round. Okay, let's go back. Good evening, Gary. Now, let's get in here. Now, tonight, there is... I'm hoping it's going to work. In theory, it should work. You have the ability to eject me from the vehicle. You pull over, it's the police. Tonight we're coming for your organs. I need to have a word with Mrs. Gary to, like, when you're asleep, she needs to, like, draw what looks like an incision mark on your side for when you wake up in the morning. Good evening, Smith Blue Mate, and welcome in. How's it going? We were just saying it is phenomenally hot. We'll have a nice relaxing night on the farm though to cool down. If I can ever get to this field, this was supposed to be a 2-minute warm-up exercise. Then we're gonna jump to the next day to see if I can get a baling contract to come in. I accepted a contract before, and it just vanished. I mean, it accepted it, so it was on the list, and it just went. If
Gary,
if it is completely broken and we can't get any contracts, then that's kind of the whole thing a bit shafted. I don't quite know what we're gonna do. Could also have a little bit explore that other map, the one that had a play of the, you know, the weeks and weeks ago now when it came out. That the one that's behind the big wall. Is that Muppet on with you tonight? One of our many troublemakers. I heard that, Gary. But what of all you guys, apart from us all drowning in our own sweat, what else have you guys been up to today? Anything exciting? Well, yeah, we're out of petrol by the time we find this bloody field. Not a lot of work for you, Smith Blue, today. Ooh, hang on, do we continue around this road or do we? I'm going to gamble that this is the road I need to take. Eating and napping, too warm to do anything. We've not done too much today. You know, played with the girls for a bit. I set the 3D printer away. It looks like it's been a success, but obviously I'm letting it drip dry through the night here. Wait, which one of these feel? Don't tell me it's this little stripe is all we're doing. Hang on. Is this the thing with the map? Okay, so 39 is the next bit over. Okay, it must be this square here. Okay. Press this button, followed by this button. And hopefully this is the right field. Was I happy with you shortly? We can find Gary together. Welcome in there, Samwise. Well, I better check this around. Is it actually doing this, the thing on the field? Welcome in, Samwise. How are you doing today there? Frodo was telling us that you didn't have the best day back at the office. I'm hoping you're all right now though, and those horrible people, you can tell them to off. Bloody heartless arseholes. Definitely on the right field, though, as a side note. Better today, yesterday was awful. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Can I just do... Right, I can do that. I can get in there. Down here. Oh, we're making a right mess on this field. These names address puts on clipping glove, exactly. Come on, up the hill. Why would you have this potato field? It's such an awkward small position. Oh, Smith Blue has contributed to the Australia Challenge. I've played a bit of Minecraft today. I finally finished leveling off the bit that we started last week. So I was on there whilst we were playing D&D. I was mining away whilst we were playing. Oh, that reminds me. I need to do the inventory for my portable hole. Yeah, this is going to be an awkward one. Actually, if I do the outside bit, then it'll be a little bit more. Here we go. This is how they do it on real farms, yeah? They ought to write their initials in the in the field. I was so upset last night. My heart was doing wacky things in my chest. It hurt so bad. Need to figure out how need to figure out how to forget it. I just those awful people that you had to suffer yesterday. And you know, those ones, at least you know what type of people they are now for the future. You know, which of the folks around you will other decent folk. Was that you farm like me? We're using the wrong tool, which is the problem. We've got this white tractor that you can attach it the proper way around. You know, the one that has the driving position where we can turn it around. That one there always works out a lot better. He was depicting using hay bales. Yeah, I mean, can I? Yeah, I mean, come on. Surely we can build a stack of hay bales to reach that. Actually, I think was there another one over here? Oh, maybe was that? Oh, hang on, look, this one's closer. We could bring the bales here. It'd probably take about 1,000 or so. at least of hard work, Mr. Smith. Oh, hang on, I need to turn this around. Could put it in gear.
I am just a voice in your head.
The voice that tells me to burn things.
The tractor.
Oh, we could set them all on fire. We'll take an insurance policy out from Samwise and set the whole farm afire. I mean, this contract must be almost thingied. And the sounds of little KFC there from Smith Blue. This field must be almost done. I mean, surely it doesn't want me to do every single last stripe. 98% done. Oh, it does want me to fix all my mistakes.
You some sort of lazy farmer.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's not our field. I mean, it's not fault that they're making such a really awkwardly tight field. They should just put something else here, or cut this tree down and turned it into a much longer field. It's whoever owns this is fault.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find the server. I had no passwords turned on.
Oh, on the thing, aye.
Yeah, in the filter.
Come on, this must be the last stretch. What's that there? What's your favourite RPG class or character type to play, Samwise? I'm such a great gamer, Ada. I don't even know what RPG stands for. Oh, there he is, except... I think we missed several bits, Smith Blue.
Just a little bit.
It's an RPG. It's racing pigeon games. So you start off, you train the pigeons, and you've got to care for them, and what have you. Get them a nice coop, for whatever it is that they call it for pigeons.
I might actually do something like that. RPG, including RPG. Great.
And then you raise them, and then they get transported to the French Resistance, and they use them to ferry messages from behind enemy lines to better so we can win the war. Can I lift the doodad? There we go. Raven plays games. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the question originally from Ada? Where's it? Oh yeah. What is your favourite Raven plays games class or character? So which is your favourite character that we played?
Shepherd.
Oh, I wish I hadn't have been so ill on Friday. I really wanted to do so much more on Mass Effect, and it was all Saturday. All I was thinking about was Mass Effect.
Yeah, I played it for like an hour yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, Dr. Raven's on. I better go and watch him."
Complete contract collect. There we go. That's me out of the doodad. Okay, I think we're going to have to sleep for a day because there's no contracts left. It's not generating any. Press the new one. It's not really giving anything that's worth. I was going to see if we could find like a bailing one, because then, just to see how it goes with how quickly we can get it all into a big pile with two of us. Is there like a limit to the number of contracts? I press clear. See, it's not really generating anything. All right, we'll sleep through it the following day if I can figure out. I think it's over this way of the house. The one that skips along the path. Oh, that's Mr. Smith's favourite with Naomi.
I'm not going to start singing it. That better not.
Sleep to 9 in the morning. We'll have an extra lie-in on the contracts.
Yay.
If I can find a couple of bailing contracts, it means we can get double the equipment if we just lease it all out. That's my theory. Harvesting, sowing, oh, nothing. And they're all disappearing? I'm not pressing anything and all the contracts are disappearing.
It's probably resetting.
So that's left us with... Actually, it's still more disappearing off the screen. Yeah, farming sim has been broken since day one when it comes to contracts. Alright, try it one more time. If not, we'll just have to go with what we've got, I suppose. Oh, you're not taking that new camper attachment off, are you? Samwise? Ah, look, they're all bloody disappearing again. How are you supposed to get any contracts if they all just keep disappearing? What's this one? Right, we'll borrow the equipment on that, assuming it hasn't failed. Right, it says active. Okay, we'll just have to go with that.
Oh God, we're not doing this, are we?
Oh, it's a lot of junk that it's given us here, isn't it?
See ya.
Where we're going? Oh, field 14, the biggest bloody field. Oh, why do you make us pick this one?
And it's sugar beet. This is going to take us all night, you know that, right?
Hashtag blame Chrissy. Hang on, where are we?
This way.
Oh, I think we're going the wrong way. Can I double up on these trailers?
You might.
I'll try. If I can't, I'll just come back.
Yeah, I think that's a hook on the back. I think you can double it.
Let's see if I can line that up. Should be doing it in the cab, really. Ooh, can I get it in there? Might be the wrong angle. Right, let's try again. Using the drone's eye view. Your hopper will be full by the time I get. By the time I finish messing around in this car park.
It's taking me ages to get there. I can't figure out what road I might be on.
Yeah, if you follow the road straight up that you're on there now, you'll land there.
Yeah, I see it.
I hope that we're dropping it off. Oh, we are dropping it off at that place that's just next to it. So that's convenient.
Oh, that's fine.
Yay! Because this is not as long as the train that we had in on my other one.
Yeah.
Oh, so Sam, jump on. They need help. Both of you have got farming sim, haven't you? Jump in and cause some chaos.
Come on, guys. Come and join us. What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. Oh, you know what I might do? I'm going to quickly nip down this road. If I can find the road. I thought there was a road here. You saw nothing.
I'm going to use the steering wheel for this. It's going to be a lot easier.
Are we going the right? Am I going the right way? Yeah, I think I'm going the right way for what I'm going to do. I don't know the difference between a harvester and a baler. Harvester is the one that sucks it up the front, and the baler is the one that poops it out the back.
I don't know if I should take that as an insult of what Gary said.
So if Mr. Smith can do it, anyone can. More likely if I can bloody do it. I've always just played farming sim just in the complete casual sort of sense of it. Yeah. I don't go into all the extreme details. You know, I've played since 13. Back on the first version that came out. I've been put out of the vehicle.
Did you go in the water?
No. I put a redeem in that you can eject me from the vehicle and it makes the police come. I'm gonna cheat because it wasn't gonna be a roll bloody night.
What, you're not even connected that yet?
Now it's connected.
Yeah,
But step out of the vehicle. from Gary.
Gary, I will say, just don't do it when he's going up the hill. We've not got all night.
we need that momentum.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do it when he's trying to go up a hill.
Wait, I think it's on a 10-minute cooldown.
Right.
However, it can be redeemed 10 times per stream, or for a farming sim stream, but an individual person can only redeem it twice.
Ah.
I'm sure it's like a 10. It might even be a 15-minute delay. I'm not entirely certain because I set it up like when I was like half asleep this morning. Yeah, mouse in one hand, bacon sandwich in the other. Like, oh yeah, I must do that. I was going to do it last night, but I got distracted by shiny things. Was hoping you get stuck in the water. An evening there, Frodo.
Hi, Frodo.
You got all that rocket fuel squared away. Oh, get that car out of the way. I'm almost caught up to you, Mr. Smith.
Something tells me we might be here for a while.
Oh, it's doing a tiny, tiny little strip as it's shaving this field.
Mm-hmm.
Break. How do I do the... There was keyboard buttons, isn't there, for the cruise control?
I think it's 3. Like along the top, number 3. 1 and 2 is adjust the speed.
1 and 2. Ah, yeah, 1 to adjust the speed, and then 3 does it. Okay. Oh. I'm trying to use the keyboard and trying to turn using the controller.
What's the Elvish word for friend?
Right, so I press 3, and then I'll try, as long as I can get like a rough match on your speed, then I can... I'm in kilometers.
I think it's 11.
Yeah, 10 looks alright, so now I'll accelerate up, and then I can press 3. There we go. And we'll fill these up. With the 3 wagons, it should be a little bit better for hauling it.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? Why is a potato picker? Why does it do such a narrow stripe?
Let me see the size of this one.
Little tiny dinky thing they've given us.
Oh, of course, it's rental. It's not going to tell me.
I'd have to match it, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
It's going to be a long night, Penguin.
Yeah, it's not very big.
That's what she said.
Yeah, sure. Well, for some reason my game measures it in feet, and it's 31 feet. Which is maybe...
It's from end to end.
Yeah.
Does this fill up all 3 containers because they're connected, or will I have to drive underneath each one?
You need to drive under each one.
Alright. I wasn't sure if with Farming Sim's logic if it would like do the... just because they're all connected, if it would just chain them. What mischief have you been causing today there, Frodo? What's that, Gary? Yeah, it's not the size that matters, Smith. You'll be grand. Oh, I think this one's full.
That's only your opinion, Gary.
Oh, balloon. The spuds are all going over the side.
My sugar beet.
Oh, we're getting to the end of the field. Right, I'll pull away now so that you've got a chance to spin around. Though my acceleration is not brilliant.
Oh, I seem to have missed that line right down the side. Oh well.
Ooh! I spilt my tatties. What's that? The Irish don't even want this many potatoes.
Well, it's a good thing it's not potatoes.
What are we harvesting then?
It's sugar beet.
That's the same thing, it'll be fine.
Sugar makes chips, you know.
Yeah, it'll be fine. They'll fry it the same.
Yeah.
Oh, the acceleration on this, I can't even. This is me flat out, and I can't even catch up. I'll wait until you're going down on the stretch.
Yeah, there's one too many trees up here.
It was like the potato header is small because it digs. It's got to go underneath, hasn't it? So if it was like a really, really wide one, it would just get bent back, wouldn't it, Gary?
Yeah, fair enough.
You want the sugar beets over there even less. Yep, so you've got to get the fryer ready, yeah, Smith Blue. Press free. There we go. I wish I should have mapped that to one of the pedals, so I could trigger it from there.
I used to have all my stuff set up on my steering wheel, but because I had to reset it when I got the new controller, I couldn't be bothered rebinding all my stuff.
You know, save the config file, and then you could like had a macro on the desktop to copy the config file back and forth.
No, but it would have reset everything, and if I put the old config back in, it would just put it back the way it was. But I did something similar at Euro Truck. If you've got the one profile and you want to move it about, you can move the config over.
Oh, I downloaded the Colonial Truck. I still haven't fired it up. Any way that we could use like fire or anything like that, or explosives to get this field cleared a bit quicker? Oh, can I clip through these bushes? Or is it going to be the... I can't on those. That tree up ahead, I'm not going to be able to clip through that though, am I?
You might get stuck in it.
Oh, hang on, I'm drifting too close. Or that... Oh no, that tank is full. Actually, I have quite a large storage bin in the back of that compared to the potato one. You must be able to get quite a lot more in that one then compared to...
I could have a look and see the size of it.
The capacity must be a lot bigger. Good evening, Mr. V. Have you been playing Colonial Truck Sim? Oh, hang on, what happened there? I got tabbed out of the game.
I was on it, but I got kind of tired and fell asleep.
Was that on the Colonial Trucks? I mean, after all, we were such pro players on the European Truck Sim. I mean, bringing our company to the colonies is only going to be, you know.
I can only wait for the amount of expenses you're going to cost me on that one.
Told you to get a rental.
on the plus side with American Truck Sim, it gives you like an insurance fee, so it's a lot less than what it would cost you.
Just accelerate a few more. There we go. I can't even see this in the mirrors. What's going on at the back? This one's almost full. So for 3 of these carts and we haven't even done a full lap of the field.
Can we just do that middle one, which is one strip? Oh, cab views, that's better. I can actually see the edge.
Oh, you see it a lot clearer from that view.
No, it's not that big, so it's not going. Not going to have to look left and right all the time. I can see it right in front of me.
What's that? Turn damage mode on and disable traffic. Death race. Yeah, we'll cause some chaos in the colonies, definitely. I do have it on the schedule for a few weeks' time on the Monday. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know what the date is, but it is penciled in for a couple of weeks' time. Good evening, Just Anatomy. Do you farm in this game? Well, we drive around a lot.
What's this farming you speak of?
Indeed. Welcome in there as well. This one's almost full. 9%. And then I'll try and get it up that hill to where it needs to be delivered. That's going to be the fun part. Might be alright from this side, because it's going up that other steep hill, but it might be alright coming from this end of the road. Oh, hang on. Have we gotten too close? Yeah, I think I've gone too close, and the thingamajig is... There it goes. So they finally updated Twitch, so you can chat and view chat while your phone's flipped. I have loads of bother on my tablet. Well, I'll get out of the way for you, Mr. Smith. I have loads of bother on my tablet because let's say in the afternoon, if I'm watching, if I'm in the garden and I've got, say, Mr. Smith on or Happy Cat on my tablet, I can't type. I can't type chat, so I have to get my phone out to type a message and then continue watching it on my tablet. Oh, hang on, where I think someone's gone tits up here. And if I want to use my Bluetooth keyboard, that's just a big no. I can't do anything with my Bluetooth keyboard attached to my tablet while trying to chat on a Twitch stream.
Beep beep.
There we go. That's that one full. Let's go. The hill. Where those colonial trucks, they are bloody fast. I'm looking forward to giving that one a bash, because the European wasn't as bad as what I was thinking it was going to be. The one that the tablet that I watch Twitch on, if I'm watching Twitch one in the garden, is the Fire 8 Plus. I haven't actually watched the stream yet on my new Fire 11. I know it's downloaded and I'm logged in, but I haven't actually watched the stream from it, so I don't know what the crack is with the without having like such a huge like screen in comparison, like, well, basically twice the size. Oh, struggling up this hill. The traffic behind. Was it I had a truck doing 100 miles an hour? In the truck sim...
Trucks are really quick.
In you know, like in Australia, how they have those like road trains, kind of like what we built in Farming Sim a couple of years ago. Is there any of those in like any of the truck sim games? So you got to like take into account like the miles worth of carriages.
They've got like up to, I think you can get mods where it can get up to 5 trailers, but from what I understand is it's pretty much the same amount of cash you would get for delivering one trailer. But it's more for the aesthetic and wanting to drive.
Yeah, and the challenge of getting them, of getting the 5 around everywhere.
But yeah, there is a thing, especially in the American one. I think you can do up to 3 trailers.
ATS has triple trailer, but Mr. V's just put a triple trailer in there as well. There.
But there's mods to get up to like 5 or maybe even more than that. But yeah, 3's like your vanilla one.
So just that, it's such a nice view in the fall. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I like this map after Mr. V recommended it. For a farming sim map to pass my test, it has to have it has to look like it's a real place that's been lived in. And what I find in lots of the maps is the trees are just all dumped in, and it's just all repeat texture all the way along. They haven't even made the effort to even just attempt to rotate them a little bit to make it have a little bit of a difference. But when you look across here, it is a nice autumn day. I'm trying to remember, what was that other one that I played? Ebony Island. I mean, you had like a row of houses that were all just copy and pasted, and that was it. They were just square blocks. There was nothing. Oh, bug! I think I've nearly missed the place. There was nothing in them to make them like interesting and lived in. There was another map that came out a few months ago that I played, and that one that really made an effort, like with the detail in the town and stuff like that. There was a couple of buildings that were missing the back, so there was no windows on the back. But I mean, the rest of the detail. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, that one, you know, the designers had made an effort to make it look like it had been like lived in, and it wasn't just like an island splodge, like what that Ebony one was. Brakes. Right, what do? I press this one here. Well, this is going to be fun with these free tipping. There goes number 1. What's that? Scary need Hawaii in ATS.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Hawaii was in one of the mods, but it's been ages since I tried it, and I don't think it really worked properly when it first came out. But it would be good to get, you know, an island or somewhere for you to actually take a ferry to.
Cause it'll all be on land, isn't it? Not like the Europe one where you like you say you get on the boat and you go to the different place.
There is ferries in Washington, and I think there's one in Texas. I think.
Yeah, there's some kind of farming sim esport thing.
I watched it last year. It's actually quite good. It's
Like,
very intense baling, you know.
Oh, it's a competition to build the best pile.
Yeah. So what it does is they do the harvesting. They spend maybe about 5-10 minutes harvesting because that builds up the multiplier, and then they put all the bales into the shed, and the higher your combo score, the better your bales are, and that's how they win by points.
I have to have a look because TikTok Jim, he was like I think when it was in like beta, he was talking about it because he was asking if I wanted like to join him and have a go, but he never got back to us on that, so we never got to play. But I've not had a look on the thing yet myself just to see what because the menus are all there now, but I've never had the chance to go and have a proper look myself. I've definitely chosen the wrong hatch on this last trailer. Just slowly tipping out. And this is what dysentery looks like, everyone. Ooh. We're just above the field, aren't we?
Yeah, I can see you. Ish.
Well, that's a wall. I can't get over there. Yeah, which it's that field there behind the trees, isn't it? Right, just get out of here. Oh, were you trying one of the esporty things, Frodo? Oh, this hill's going to be a pain in the ass to get up to fully loaded, isn't it? Turn. Don't tip it. Okay, where's Mr. Smith at?
I'm to your left.
Oh, so he is. Oh, look at that swing. Swinging those trailers round. Have I got the power to get up this little bit of hill?
You might want to hurry up, I'm nearly full.
Almost there. Oh yeah, it is a lot. It does store a lot in that one, doesn't it? Press 3. There we go.
Right, I'm going to pop this on AI worker while I go and put the kettle on what we're all having.
Hang on. Oh, I've got mystery drink today. There we go. Hold that one in there. Oh, this is really going to fill up fast. And it doesn't really... We're not really making that much progress on the field. Right, turn that off. Turn it back on. Off. On. Yeah, you can hire AIs to do the bits of the field for you. Yeah, actually, with this one, I don't know if it was in 19, but on this one you can hire AIs to drive equipment around the map for you as well, so you can like set up a route and tell it to drive the tractor over to like a certain field.
It was in 19, but it was a mod.
Oh, so it wasn't official then, yeah.
A lot of the stuff from 19 came in as mods in the new vanilla in the game.
So I'm guessing then that they decided just to take the hard work of the fan community,
Yeah,
and just put it into their own game.
the mobile versions as well though, so it was already as a feature. I think you've confused the AI there.
He's all gone screwy.
Luckily, I just got back and saw what the combine was trying to do.
He's pitching a fit. Accelerate a bit more. There we go. And whilst that cruise control is on, can I reach the mystery drink? Now, we think yesterday might have been the combo one. And what have I got today, though? Is it going to be just orange, the combo, or the weird one?
I'll tell you.
This was definitely the combo.
The AI on the 19 when you could set up your own vehicles. I basically had like a fuel refinery, so I had like a tanker that would go and pick up the fuel and bring it back to the farm. I was on my way back with a plough and then I didn't see the tanker coming. It ploughed right up the back of me. It sent me into this field. So you can get rear-ended by your own vehicle, I can confirm.
Oh, I've drifted away. How many? 54 minutes in. This is as far as we've got on this field.
This is going to be a while. How much are we getting for the contract?
136.
So I was going to suggest we release another harvester, because it would probably only be a couple of grand. and we can get.
Well, if you know which one to pick it, and I'll pick it up because you know me, I don't know the vehicles. as long as it's the right one for the job, I'll bring it over.
I mean, realistically, how long is this going to take us if we do it by ourselves?
I don't think we're going to get the whole field done. I got this sneaking suspicion. If we get another, if we get like maybe like one more trailer, then I could detach the end one here, and we could do a double trailer each, and then we could follow the AIs around and pick it up.
Yeah.
But I'll let you, because you know what you're picking more than I do. So whilst you're doing that, I'm going to deliver what we've got so far here.
It's only 25 grand. That's not too bad considering how much we're getting for the field. So we might as well get another one.
And we've got it on real time as well, so we won't have to pay too much in the way of fees.
So what I'll do is I'll just send this one off, and then I'll go and get the other one.
Mm-hmm. Did you choose another trailer, and I'll bring that other gear up as well in a moment?
I think we could probably get away with just maybe you have 2 trailers, and I'll take one of them. Or something. I don't know. There's another tractor sitting here, so that must have been part of the contract as well.
Yeah, there was two yellow tractors and 2 of the dark green trailers, and the white and vomit green one is one that we already had on the farm.
Right. So yeah, we could figure something out.
Oh, I don't know if I can get up this hill.
It's going to take us hours just to get halfway down the field.
Is that Frodo's fault?
Yeah.
He's the right troublemaker, is that lad? Mm-hmm. I don't know how Samwise keeps him out of bother. Can I just, because we're going to lose a lot of power here, I'm going to try and see if I can cut through the trees. Yeah, he's no bother, is he? Samwise. Oh, can I get up this hill? More power. Oh, have you tempted the fates tonight, Samwise? Come on, we can make it up this hill. Yay. Am I in the right position? Yep. Will that do its thing if I change? Oh, it will. Okay, so... Right, that should do it big. Just let that one drain off there. Tip out tank number 2. Oh, you're going to play out tonight, Samwise? I mean, do you have to take the campery bit off there? I mean, what if like through the winter you just want to go on like a trip somewhere? Well, that's a lot better, taking that whole rear section off. There we go. Let's get out of here. Drive it like we rented it. Oh, we could just cut straight up this field because it's connected to the field that we're playing on, isn't it? So when you say that as well, that you winterize it, is that as in you've got to put like the different tires on as well, or is there anything else that you've got to do to your thing over there? the AI is going to go up and down the field, isn't he? Not just around the outside.
Yeah. That's fine though, because I'm going to do little cuts so that it's not going to get stuck.
Just make it a bit wider at the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Aye.
Because it's already a Mr. Chunk.
I will have to go in and clean up the mess that the AI causes.
Yeah, I'll clean up the bits that he's missed.
Yeah, I'll gather up the stuff out of his doodad. Yeah, we take it off and put the canopy back on for winter. We don't want to have the load on the ice. Oh, it will affect the balance if it's like a really, really slippy road. We thought the extra weight pushing down would give you a bit more. Just put antifreeze in the water lines. Not too much. Not too much of a fiddly job. Samwise. Just now he takes notes. Oh, again, shaking back and forth all over the place here.
I should probably try to stay in a straight line.
Just on a total side note there, I was when I was like looking at the stream schedule, because I'm desperate for to do more board game nights. I've got that Lord of the Rings board game. The new one that came. Well, what the hell is this AI doing now? It's backing up all over the shop.
Yeah,
he's given up. But I've had it for a little while now, and I haven't gotten round to to even unwrapping it yet. But Mr. V, thank you so much. 6 months of madness. Thank you so much there, Mr. V. As I keep saying, I never know how to thank all of you a lot. Just as long as you enjoy the madness that we put out here on a nightly basis. But thank you so much for the sub there, Mr. V. I hope you've been behaving yourself. Ooh, hang on. There we go. Oh, this AI's gone completely tits up. Where is he trying to go? He's just giving up halfway up the field. He's not trying to come back down or something? Or?
I was going to say it could be a bug in this field, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe the field is too long. Maybe it thinks of it as two entities, maybe, of the field.
I have no idea.
It's all gone tits up. I'll stay clear a little bit until we... Oh, bugger. Yeah, that happens. Stand by on the free button. There we go. It's raining fake potatoes. It looks like it's like chucking out loads of little chips. It's a sawmill. And Daft Phoenix, welcome in there, mate. You join us for a spot of farming sim? Well, we're probably going to have to put in a full day's bloody labour to get this field done. Looks like large apple seeds.
Just, if you look behind us, you can just see the line that's appearing from the other AI that's in the other harvester.
Oh, is that one up the middle of the field there? I can just see it in the distance.
Yeah, I'm just splitting the field into maybe make it a bit easier for the AI.
Oh, I'll back up there to get out of your way, so you can turn that thing round. don't know if we're having this funny corner. Maybe we should turn it into a square and go crossways down here.
Just going along the way, yeah.
And then we can tidy up the rest after. But so like Gary, it looks like a large apple seed that's coming out of the thing. But what's the Latin name? What day is the Latin name test that you were talking about the other night? Is that is that on Thursday when you do that part of the class? Thursday, yep. Press the free button. Are you calling in sick? I'll write you a note, Gary.
Is that the day you're washing your hair? Or donating your organs?
Yeah, that's kidney day. Oh, I can see the tractor in the distance. It's closing the gap. I have to do maybe 2 stripes this way to make sure the AI doesn't just cut across it, or does it like just when it comes to an end it just gives up?
That other one does, because that's going to see.
I should probably have a quick drive over there and take a little bit out of its tank.
You can see this one's. Yeah, this one's already turned in, so I think that one will probably do the same. Oh look, 10% done! Yay!
Yay! And we're now at the 1 hour and 7 minutes. Well, the first 20 minutes was trying to find that other field to do that little tiny one, I suppose. Oh, would it go left or right when he's done this bit?
No idea.
The driving is a riot. What's wrong with our driving, just anatomy? Gary taught us everything he knew. Go on, catch up. Can I get? Oh, is it full?
Get him! Get him! Get him!
Oh, that must be that tanker full. If I could only accelerate, I could take a little bit more out.
You might want to get out of the way. The other tractors coming the other way.
Oh, it's going to be a crash. Oh, can your tractor get past in time?
What are we doing?
I should really get past him before he slaps me with that. Brake.
Oh no! No, Gary, don't!
Step out of the vehicle.
Oh, right. I'll like that.
It doesn't always work because sometimes Ada has difficulty taking over control of the keyboard for it. But when it does work. Step away from the vehicle. Bloody delay. I know we got to take the stream delay into consideration. Plus, when the siren goes off, there's a 4-second delay before it actually boots me out. So it's as if they've flashed me with the lights, and then and then I've been told to step out. Alright, this one's almost full.
Yeah, and this is halfway full, so as soon as you come back, you're going to be full again.
I'll try and take it straight up through this other field.
Yeah.
If I can get the power to pull away. I'll take it straight up field 12.
You're going to be really busy in that tractor, by the way. Both of these harvesters are nearly full.
We need to bring the one of the other tractors up.
Have you got another trailer sitting about?
We only own the one trailer, and the two other ones. That's what I was saying. If there was like another one just to pick up, when I go and fetch the other tractor, I can bring it up as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Just ask me. I don't even remember. What did she ask you? Was that a full truck? Jolly good. Now go create a traffic jam. The way this map's laid out, can you actually see it on your screen? You see kind of where it's got the field 31 and 30 just on the side of the map there. That is a proper traffic jam spot with the way that the travel around here, that crossroads. Come on, more power. Just a little bit more. Oh, 2 kilometers an hour. Back to 1. Evening, JD. What mischief are you getting yourself up to tonight? We are dragging false potatoes up the hill tonight.
False potatoes.
Oh, and straight in a challenge from Mr. Penguin for JD. Oh, hang on, we're getting more speed now that we're on the flat, ish. Here we go. I wonder if there's a position I can get this in where I can empty out both trailers at once.
Could do.
I'll investigate. I drive it like just to the tip. Just the tip.
Just the tip. I was going to say that you beat me to it.
Oh, and JD slaps down the penguin.
Oh, no. Is that dysentery?
How far forward can I tip this? Right, it still classes as tippable right now. Now it's not. Okay. Tip. Tip. Oh, I can. Synchronized tipping. To the sound of the squeaky bottle king. Okay, that's them done. Then we get the last one out. 7%. There go the fake potatoes. I'm going to break my own rules. I'm going to drive off the road.
Oh, you just missed such an epic moment there. Both the harvesters were coming towards me. I had the trailer out and both the hoses came out at the same time and tipped their loads.
Do you remember at Christmas? I think it was me, you, and Rocky.
Yeah.
And we had the 2 potato things side by side, and my potatoes were pouring into his harvester, then going into like your truck.
Yeah, it was similar to that.
Oh, have you got another trailer up here, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I had to because these are almost through and you're not even back yet.
I will detach my rear next to you.
You're what?
And there you go. I just launched it.
What do you do with that? It's not going to connect.
Oh, does that one not connect to yours? Does it not?
No, it's a big trailer though. I mean, I can try.
Well, maybe it's that one. I'll let you connect a second one to it if you like swap them over.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but blame Mr. Smith, JD. Are you looking forward to your new console coming soon, JD? Are we playing that the new Star Wars one? Survivor? Or is it Survival? It's something like that in the title. I watched a little bit of it here and there, but I've not seen much of it. Ooh, put the autopilot on there for a second. Have another drink. It's so hot. Oh, crikey, this thing filled up so quickly. Let's sit up a bit. Yeah, the Jedi Survivor. That's the one. Oh, I drifted too far away.
Alexa, I bet this scared you, Gary.
Have you already got it turned off tonight, Gary? So that Mrs. Gary doesn't beat you up. Yeah, did you manage to clip those trailers all together, Mr. Smith?
Nah, they two can't connect. This one's pretty big though.
Well, what we could do is, if I separate another one of these off, because these ones do.
And then split them too.
Yeah, and then we'll do that. Yeah, I'll empty this load because this is now full, yeah. and then we'll come back and we'll play juggle the trailers. I don't know which game I should start with. Might wait for the Cyberpunk. It's been a long time since I played Cyberpunk, but with all the stuff that you've been like telling us, Mr. Smith, I'm looking forward to that one as well.
It is looking really good.
Yeah, but if I take it, can this release be sort of like regarded as the way it was supposed to come out?
That's what a lot of the old school cyberpunkers are calling it. Is the Cyberpunk 2.0 basically. The way it should have been. But it was that other fella that we raided into a week or so ago. Yeah. He was saying that that it was the fans that like annoyed them to release it early. Yeah.
I don't know about that though. It's the first I'd heard of it.
I heard that people were demanding, begging, all that stuff for it.
Yeah.
That's what they get for it.
Yep, they get a game which is a catastrophe.
It's just going to be a race to the silo. Who's going to get there first?
Mr. Smith. I'm coming up through the bushes. There we go. If I drive around the back, by the time you've unloaded, I'll be ready to...
it's fine, never mind.
Ready to drop. I drove away. It was still open. It just kept on going. Here we go.
I've had trailers in the past where it would push me through the building because it was too like that.
Out the way. I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to go do that. I should get both of them at once there. Yeah, both tipping. There we go. What was that? Mr. Smith speeding down the line, Penguin. It's on. I changed name. Oh, Echo, play Barbie Girl. Computer, play Barbie Girl. Amazon, play Barbie Girl. There we go. One of them's got to have done it. I didn't want to say the other one because I might set off the one in my room. There you go, Mr. Smith.
The other trailer's doing it.
I'll zoom down and grab that one. I thought we were going to spare him tonight.
No.
Oh, what's that? If you could have a conversation with an ancient Egyptian, I figure, who would you choose and what would you ask them? He says, I would ask the architect how they built the pyramids. It was with the under the slave labor of the Goa'uld. Almost finished SG1. I've got 10 episodes left in my current SG1 marathon. We are halfway through season 1. Actually, no, we're not. We're on the siege of SG1. Sorry, Atlantis, even.
Apparently this can't connect to anything.
Oh, okay. Attach. What's going on here? We connected before. It's got like perfectly lined up or something. It's like one pixel that it's got to be on. There we go, attach. But if you stick the is it the Rudolph one? If you stick that one straight behind your trailer, and then whatever that new one is that you got from the shop, it'll connect. did we trigger it on one of them, Gary? I think you're just going to have to accept the fate that you've brought upon yourself. It's okay. Once we get your kidneys. Let's line ourselves back up a little bit better with that one. There we go. How far we got to the end? Actually, is this one? Oh yeah, it'll be going on this stripe. I'm trying to think if it's going to go at the other side once I get to the end. I said it only answers to my voice because everyone would abuse it. Oh, bugger. Oh, it's okay. I'll get that software that can reproduce your voice, and I'll take snippets from your stream to program it, and we'll get it saying all the commands. You'll be having Barbie Girl blasting through the street. I watched the first season of SG1 a bunch of times because they only aired that for a few years before they bought the rest. Oh, so the networks over for you when it was in like syndication only got only had that one available. Oh, I absolutely love Stargate. Oh, side note today, right? I had to reprint Daddy Def's Superstar Destroyer because unfortunately it didn't make it through the post, so I've made it a little bit bigger, and hopefully those sections will be a bit thicker. And I'm gonna, because the postage is stupidly expensive to get them over to him. So I'm actually thinking about making a frame for it with the laser cutter. just to keep it like secure for the journey, and then I'll use a bloody whole roll of bubble wrap if I've got to. Because if this one gets there and it snaps, that'll be I'll not be sending a third. But apart from that, there was a bit of a gap down the side, so I printed a small 302. And tomorrow, as long as I get up early enough, my plan is to print Battlestar Galactica, and that'll be about a 12-hour print, give or take. So as long as I get that one off quickly in the morning, get it cleaned up for the Superstar Destroyer, then I'll be firing that away with Battlestar. So I might have some pictures of Battlestar in a couple of days' time. The model looks really good. There is like multiple versions where I could print it off in like sections, but that'll take weeks. I'm just printing off the full thing in one go, which it scales to all the other models that I've been printing. So it's all about the same sort of size as the the 304s and 303s from SG1 in Atlantis, and also it's the same size as the Atlantis model. Worst bit is given enough time, you probably could do that. Wow, which bit am I, have I missed there, Penguin? Oh yeah, sorry, you mean for stealing your voice? Oh yeah. And for Scarlet, can you give a brief explanation on what it is? Ooh, how could we summarise it? It's in Star Trek, which is off in the future. This is more current times. A ring is discovered. When they learn how to use said ring, they can dial up other planets, and they basically step through the wormhole. And it sends them off to they go to the other planets and explore and blow stuff up. It's a really, really good show. 10 seasons of SG1. 5 seasons of Atlantis, 2 seasons of Stargate Universe. There's 2 TV movies, 1 web series. The Catherine one was a bit crap, and of course the original movie. You got to watch the original movie. Stargate Infinity didn't exist, doesn't exist. It has nothing to do with the show. It was made by, I'm assuming, a bunch of students who had never seen Stargate before, who made a cartoon series. It was not good. I couldn't even make it way all the way through it. Even the creators of the show, when they had like a meeting sort of thing, they were doing like for the special features on the DVD sort of thing, and they were discussing the different things and what have you, and even they said, yes, Stargate Universe has now to do, Stargate Infinity has nothing to do with us. We should probably start off with the original movie. Bear in mind that the characters have different personalities for the series. But yeah, just start with that. On Discord, I have my ultimate playlist. It is pinned for watching the entire show in the proper order. Stop saying that name. Which name? Which name are we driving you mad with, Gary? This one's taking a little while to fill up. Actually, I'm at the top of the hill. I should probably just take what I've got and run once I get to the end of this this stripe. Just since I'm up at this end.
Yeah. And by the time you're up and down, that's probably turned and started going back down the way.
Aye. Plus, I don't have quite as much weight to haul.
Yeah. I might do the same, so you might see me up your ass.
Oh, the Stargate that shall not be named.
How dare you say that?
Yeah, we yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, what's that, Ada? We got one less. Oh, come on, power up the hill.
I think you're in the harvester's vein. He's trying to turn.
You'll be fine. Try and accelerate up the hill. Oh, we're getting so close to that 800 mark. So for every one step closer, we take 3 steps back. More power. Almost there. Alright, can we get roughly lined up in here? So I want to take this one right out. Oops. Oh, that one's not quite over the line. Oh, too far. Eh. Oh, they're still on. Oh, they're both still unloading. That's all right. Oh, is that Mr. Smith's tractor right here in the background? And away we go. I wonder if a tractor would have been more powerful. Is this one a bigger tractor? I suppose it saves on petrol if we use theirs.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, straight down the hill. Well, that should be, as you say, that should be turned around now and be a little ways down the hill. Ah, I think that's it there. Indeed, risky going over that, that wall. Ooh, let's have a look. We'll see what percentage the field's up to there, Mr. Penguin. 20%.
Yay!
In about an hour and a quarter. Was that such massive things on this farm? Yeah, I mean, who picked this massive field?
Yeah, I wonder who that was.
And harvesting fake potatoes as well. Anything else we would have had the wider header on. I was really hoping that we could have found a baling contract, but just none of them were appearing. Press the free button. There we go. Actually, 2 seconds. Whilst we're kind of roughly. You can take a nap now. Just put that there for a second. Hopefully this doesn't crash everything. CH. That might not be how you spell it. Maybe if I click on here. And then if I click on there. Then I press CH. Close enough. Was that? It's not sake. It's simming. Yeah, we're going to do the full simulation. Oh, have I still got Excel open? I'll close that. Scale to fit. All right, this is approximation. Right, undeploy. So this is what I'm hoping. I don't know why for some reason on the model that is a different color. It's not going to make a difference. It's all going to be grey. But this is the Battlestar that will be printing tomorrow if all goes according to plan. Got lovely detail on it. Even in like side where like the pods are tracked, and you can see it's a bit difficult to see here, but you can kind of see into there. There's like the gap where you can see, and it's a bit difficult on that side because for some reason that side is dark. I'm hoping this one comes out all right. I've got a suspicion that it may fail, but what could possibly go wrong? Oh. Got off the edge of the field. Yeah, they've all got full support on that. Was just me just dumping the model in for 2 seconds just to show you. But if when I print it, that particular one has an absolute ton of supports because of all the ribs that are on it, and because I wanted to try and maximize the size, I'm printing it at an angle. Some things like the Destiny, I printed that like straight down, and that would technically only require like a really small number of supports, because it got smaller and smaller as it went. I was like, be careful of the trees just at me. But yeah, the Battlestar one has an absolute ton of supports on it, unfortunately. Just when I got a new bottle of resin. I also bought yesterday 2 new tanks for it. So that I can leave the tank there, can just be the grey forever, and it means that I can use these other 2 tanks for different coloured resins. Because I'm determined, I've got the clear red resin, and I want to build as big as I can make it a marker from Dead Space, but using the transparent red, and then at some point I'll paint the base to make it like so it's not transparent, and then I'll put a one of the little lights underneath it, and that little LED, so that it lights it all up from the inside. I think it'll look cool. It is indeed such a big one, just anatomy. And it's boiling hot work as well. I keep forgetting I press the cruise control button as we're going here. Missed it. I'm losing the fake potatoes. Whee. Let's try and make everyone sick.
No, please don't.
I think this one's almost full. Is that the farmers need to have a pint in one hand? Just anatomy. What was it? It was yesterday or the day before. It was you saying that you were going somewhere where there was going to be 15 quid a pint. Does that make you dizzy then fall over? Oh, look at them go up the side of the thing. 82%. Yeah, and I think again once I get to the end of here. So basically these two things is one stripe of this field. Well, no, two stripes because it goes down then back. So near New York. Just now to me. Oh, that's crazy money. I'll probably say yes, JD. I mean, it depends when in the timeline. I mean, is the weapon in Takara still there, or has it been destroyed by the Ori? Because that would probably be the only thing that might potentially defeat the Daleks. Come on, accelerate. More power.
This is the slowest drag race ever.
So I imagine like 50 of those trucks filling up this field in hours. Yeah, we need more workers. Oh, we'll throw Cybermen in the mix as well. See, how would the Daleks and the Cybermen fare up against the replicators? Including human form replicators. See, I think as much as you wouldn't want it, I think the Daleks would decimate. Because I don't see... conventional weapons never work against them, do they? Yeah, exactly, JD. They always have a get out of jail free card to technically win. Was it? I forgot basic human stuff. Tickles the Daleks. Can we catch up with this truck? Oh, hang on, we didn't empty everything out of this thing. Oh, bugger. Press is free.
Press free to pay respects.
Or autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. I mean, look at that. There's like a plastic thing covering our chances of... It's like it's perfectly there so that we can't see the harvest getting poured. Daleks versus Carter. What weapon could they use against them, though? Because I mean, the Daleks have like their own shields or something, I think, don't they? I mean, would the anti-replicator weapon work? The Ritu gun? Because I don't think the projectile weapons normally don't have any effect on them, do they? Paintballs hack them off momentarily. There's that one where they shot the paintball on the eye stalk. They're probably shielded for radiation, though, are they not? I suppose that would potential of damaging the organic component inside. the little squiddy thing that sits inside working it. $99, $100. That's that one full. She'd probably hack them and turn them from enemies into friends. See, could the human form replicators do that as well? You know, because you know what they're like for sticking their hands in things. I think he went for the first time seeing it, went from, ooh, those guys are awesome, to what the fuck. They all seem to be protected by some form of plot armor, though. Accelerated too far away. Should have used cruise control. Ooh, drifting. SG-1 plot armor versus the Daleks. Oh, if that's the case, then the Daleks are doomed. JD. Being able to give me nightmares. They were my favourite bad thing in the Doctor Who. The Shadow that ate. Oh, that was the first one with that. Because the Shadow thing, that was when they were in the library thing, wasn't it? Oh, it has done a really weird job on that corner. Or unless it's going to back up. I was never a fan of River Song. I never much liked her character. I always found her like really annoying every time that she appeared on screen. I still find her intensely annoying every time that she appears on screen. Yeah, turn them into bones, sort of, with their bodies. Yeah, and like the LED on the neck or whatever it was on the spacesuit was like the remnant of their. Like memory or soul or something like that was recorded in it. I need to watch, because I'm only as far as the regeneration out of Capaldi. I've not seen anything beyond that, so the next Doctor that took over, I don't even know what her voice sounds like. Also had me scared of the shadows for like 2 years. Yay, fun times. I find River Song, first she was... oh, hang on, I pressed the right button. Trying to press the button on the paddle here. So enjoyed where the enjoyed her in Doctor Who. Because she used to be in ER, didn't she? The one that played that, I think. And I'm sure when they made that live action Lara Croft Tomb Raider movie, I'm certain she was a contender to play Lara Croft. I remember reading it in one of the old PlayStation magazines. She was a contender for the Lara Croft role, and obviously went to Angelina Jolie, something like that.
Something like that.
Oh, not much of this juice left. It's very weird, that stuff. So, yeah. I JD wasn't a fan of her myself either. Oh, just every time she come in, I was just like, oh, not another episode with her. Just an annoying personality, her character. Oh, Ada's really hitting the Egyptian stuff tonight, isn't she? Do you have a favourite ancient Egyptian deity? Just anatomy. If so, what draws you to them? Now, this could also be a Stargate question.
Is it rhubarb?
Indeed. The great god Rhubarb.
Rhubarb? Rhubarb.
Or I don't know how to pronounce that. It was a fun monster, but the Weeping Angels were terrifying. So remember that episode with the... I don't know if it was it the first time, was it the first outing? I don't know. But it was one where you don't really see the Doctor as such. He's on like a DVD player recording. Was that the first outing for the Angels, or were they out before that? In another episode, I can't quite remember. But it followed this this woman who had like the DVD with it with the message on. Come on, more power up the hill. This time, remember to empty them. I imagine way before that, but was the first time I met them too. Yeah, I think that was the well, it could have been the first time I seen them as well. Maybe it's on screen. So with myself and Doctor Who, as a kid, I used to watch all the old ones. And oh, hang on, is that for that reason, JD, for half hour? But for me, when they made the new ones, I watched the Christopher Eccleston ones. I watched them loads and loads of times because it's the only ones I had on DVD. And I watched when what's his name took over, up until the one where they were in Scotland and they met the Queen of England, the one where they had like the wolf. I just didn't enjoy that episode at the time, and it put me off the show, and I never watched it again for years. And then I marathoned it again for it's on Netflix. I'll watch it. And oh no, not far enough. There we go. And after that, I just loved it again. It was just something at the time. Maybe it was just whatever I was doing at work. Maybe it was at that time. Just for some reason, I was just put off it for a few years. But I think I've totally just been saying half hour JD. Because she was in 4, maybe 5 episodes of SG1. And the actress that plays her, I met her at a Comic-Con, and I was ill. The photograph of me standing next to it looks like she's propped up next to a corpse. Because she's so full of colour, and then there's this zombie standing next to her who just finished a 16-hour shift through the night, was knackered, was ill, didn't know the convention was on until a few hours earlier, so stayed up even longer just to meet them. I tried photoshopping it to try and put a little bit of life into me, and I was like, no, there's nothing is going to revive this corpse.
This corpse is long gone.
I stopped watching it because somehow I got in my head that it's a kids program. Eventually I realised I don't care, it's awesome. Exactly. I mean, I regularly watch the Penguins of Madagascar cartoons. I mean, they're supposed to be kids' ones, I think. But I love those cartoons. Let's slide out a bit there. Up and down, up and down. Need a bigger truck. Just the animation there, it's all just pouring over. It's all missed.
You're going to have to pick them all up by hand.
Yep. Was there a new season of Lower Decks out, JD? I forget where I'm up to with those ones. I do like Lower Decks as well. That's another really, really good one. And I need to get out of the way of this tractor he's given up. I'll do a quick loop.
I know, I'm just watching, making sure it doesn't start doing its stupid circles.
Somewhere in the middle there's like a glitch in the matrix in this field. Odd time I'll stick on SpongeBob for a bit of... that's the thing, I have never seen SpongeBob. I've never gotten around to watching. I've never seen it at all. I'm vaguely aware of it. I've seen like random clips of it here and there and stuff, but I know nothing about it. Oh, that tank must be full. Let's yeah, there we go. That one must be full. Press the free button. Well, actually, it's like it's centered for once. Was it? There was a huge thing about how most kids that watched it as kids grew up with super low attention spans compared to their counterparts. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Bloody the kids today. Kids today haven't got a clue. Oh, we're drifting. We're drifting. Old school Cartoon Network was great. Johnny Bravo. I've heard that name. I've not seen that one there.
Yeah.
IR Baboon. I don't know that one. Dexter's Lab. I know that. I used to watch that before going to school. And Cow and Chicken. There's a show about a chicken.
Was the best. How do you not? Oh, Dr. Raven of all people. Cow and Chicken. You don't know of it?
Never heard of it. Right, so someone put a reminder in. I'm gonna have to go and have a look at the end of the stream.
Someone put a reminder in, please.
Turn us around.
People not to know Cow and Chicken.
Turning. Oh, it's all gone tits up.
Oh, there, Dr. Raven.
That's one way to drive it. Mr. Wiggles, welcome in there, mate. Oh, hang on, let's get out of the way of this one.
Sorry, it's me driving it at the moment. I'm just trying to line it up. Then
It always seems to go tits up at this end, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was trying to line it up there for some reason, like turned around on itself.
Mr. Penguin's putting the thing. Oh, Ron Changle, is that your way then, is it? All right, fair enough. I was going crazy once. And you stayed there. It's the best way to be. But you join us tonight for a spot of farming sim with Mr. Smith. I don't know who picked doing this massive field full of fake potatoes.
Yeah, I wonder who that was.
Nothing to do with me. I definitely.
Uh-huh. You know, if we'd done this the original way of just the one harvester, we wouldn't even be on this line.
Oh, no. We would have just done just the end bit here. We would have just...
see where you are now, that's probably where we would be at if it was just...
Yeah. Oh, I keep doing this. I press 3 for cruise control. I keep forgetting. So do the other number buttons do anything? Oh, no. Oh, they make things happen on the other side of the screen. All right, ignore those. Right, what are we at here? Almost 90% on the tank.
Alexa, play wet fart noise.
do you have the speakers turned on though? Is what you should have asked, Mr. Wheels there, Mr. Penguin. Has anyone tempted fate tonight with their horoscopes at all? I did some more things that she could research out of her database. Beyond the dysentery, because we've got to have that extra doses of dysentery.
Dr_Ravenholm. Embrace the messiness of life like a true dysentery champion. Laughter is the best antidote.
There we go, and we're straight in with the dysentery again. All right, let's go and get this stuck in the thing.
God, you're not full already. Those trailers are so small.
These 2 trailers only do that. Is it that one trailer that you've got? It looks like the same length as this, but it must have a bigger capacity.
40,000. I don't know how much that is.
I have no idea. No idea.
It should say a percentage then next to it.
Well, at the minute it's got 40. Let's say 46,000 litres.
Alright.
I don't know if that's across both of them though.
Yeah, that would be if you've got the same thing in
each one. It'd be a combined, yeah. Or you have to wait the 5-minute cooldown, Mr. V, to try your next horoscope. More power. I should maybe just when the timer runs out for the 5-minute delay, I'll maybe just get Ada to pop a message in the chat saying, I don't know, the spirit world is
your horoscope is awaiting.
Oh, hang on, what's that? Damn cooldowns. I say we can't play some of these daft, like in Stardew Valley, how you can play the games in the pub.
My favourite was the Cyberpunk one. The mini game when your internet connection goes off and you press the little thing and you jump over the fences.
Oh yeah,
it's that basically.
There's a version of that in Cyberpunk.
Yes, if you go to one of the mini games in your apartment, it's basically.
Oh, I don't think I've ever looked at those.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a mission.
Is that what you're going to do next time?
Oh, you pop the intro for it on there. Oh, I'm going to have to have a look at this after. Okay, which one have I got? Oh, there we go. Just got them in the right position and get rid of both at the same time.
Now, if I park right here, I'll get a face full of sugar beet.
Oh, if you had a reversed in with it, you could have dumped yours in at the back as well.
Do that next time. 3 times.
Oh, hang on, is that it? Oh, that other one's still emptying. Can I adjust? Is that going down? Yeah, it's going down. I'm going back and adjust the thing, because on that one at the back, I can adjust the way it tips out.
Yeah.
I wonder if this one has it. Grain door or left?
Should say side tip, left tip, or whatever.
If I put it on side tip and see if that does the whole thing, but obviously I have to come just to tip it out as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to offload. I'm following you back down.
You come down the hill.
Was it why have I still got sugar beet?
Fake potatoes. Yeah. Alright, let's get back in line with this one. Press the free button. A little bit more. There we go. Wow, this first one just seems to fill up so quickly. I suppose it could be as well the build up that's been in the hopper from when I've been driving up the thing. Right, cruise control activate. The side of the field that I'm on here only has a few stripes left, but when I look at the other side of the field.
Yeah, you can see once that's done on that side, I'm going to move that over and put it halfway up this field side and see how we get on. I don't think we'll need to do the entire field because it's sugar beet.
Ooh, well, I'll just get this thing offloading into the next one, and we'll see what percentage we're up to now on it. It's at 32%.
Yeah, I was going to say, it must be nearly 30.
In 2 hours.
So what's that, another 2 streams?
Oh yeah, we're not going to do this whole thing in one go, I can tell you that straight away.
For 2 people though, I think we've done not too bad.
Yeah, we got a nice stripe down the middle. The outer perimeter, you got that. You did that one by hand.
It just shows that you know how the AI are and the harvesters, they like to make big turns.
Aye.
They would have been on the road and hitting into trees and stuff.
I would have been driving with nuts, having to keep on jamming them every time they get to the bottom end of the field. We've still got that bit at the top as well, the bit, the funny angle bit that were sliced off.
I suppose we could put the one that you're emptying onto that bit, and this one can just finish this side off.
Oh, once this bit's done, yeah.
Yeah.
Drift a little bit closer. Ooh. There we go. So what sort of trouble he's all got lined up for the rest of this week then? What mayhem is to come? Oh, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night as well. We are going to be doing Ori and the Blind Forest. My kind of goal tomorrow is... Oh, how's it pronounced? Is it the Ginso tree or something like that? If we can, I'd like to get to the top of there by tomorrow. It should be theoretically doable. I've completed that game so many times. So many 100%.
That seems like a good plan there, Penguin.
Eat, drink, sleep, breathe. Now, you can't do all 4, you have to drop one of them.
I'll put down on breathe.
Yeah, you don't need that, yeah. If you're not going to do the breathing, we might as well harvest your lungs as well, yeah.
Your organs, please.
Yeah. I'll drop the breathing, see, the penguin knows. Have at it. We'll come for the penguin's organs. Right, actually that's almost full again. I'm going to take this straight to the place. Drop this off, and then hopefully when he'll get to the other end of there and I can catch up with him. We get enough speed to get up the hill. Actually, that bit's quite steep. I wonder if I come in at this angle, I could get a better acceleration. Because I'd be kind of coming up the hill gradually. Ooh, there's a good question for Ada for years. Have you ever rage quit a game? What was the game and what happened?
No comment.
What have you broken, Mr. Smith?
Well, you know how I can just fly off the handle sometimes and just get annoyed? There was a few races on the Formula 1 games. I was like, screw this. I've had enough. I can't do anything. And literally, all F4'd it.
Hundreds of times in hundreds of games from for the Penguin. Try and remember that there's been a couple of times on stream that I've just, it was just sort of like gone, oh, we're not getting anywhere here, and that's it. But not like a proper, not like when people like smash the controllers and stuff like that. It's just a case of this is just getting too frustrating now. Here we go, and break. I can probably go a few more feet forward. Oh, no, that's not the right button. Oh, no, we'll not be able to now because it's... Is that both of them unloading? We'll have to do it at the ends because the...
Oh, yeah, because that's...
Yeah, it takes up too much space. It was worth the experiment. So if I change that to back, then I'll change that, and then I'll get rid of this one. There we go. And away we go. I would imagine this one should be near the top here. By now. I can't see the harvester, but I can see the stripe where it's cut it away.
Yeah.
I didn't rage quit. I just stopped playing as it was nothing more than a cash grab. Which game was that? There's some games that sometimes, like when I've been sitting in the car park, you play little mobile games. There's some of those I was really enjoying them, and then after a bit, that's when it becomes the point where everything is like a super grind, because the one you buy super fun books, and I don't do super fun books. Oh, thinking of the mobile games, I never posted any more of those pictures in the movie section, so you could guess what movies because that cinema game I was playing for I played it for 7 days just to get the Lord of the Rings achievement thing. that was it. Once I got that was pretty much done with it. That, and when it opened up a second cinema, then it became like a super grind. I was like, nah, I can't be asked for that. But the little the movies that are in it, they sound like the knockoff AI versions of proper movies. Yeah. And had like dodgy posters and stuff like that. I think I posted a couple more, but not for a little bit.
I'll take a look. Where's that in?
Just in the movie and so it's cruise control. Because I might as well. I'll tab over to it as well so we can see it on the stream. TV and movie. Scroll up a few bits. Yeah, so these are the other ones we had here. 3 young. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Bugman or Ant-Man. No shield, no magic. Sorry, no shield, no magic hammer. Still get it? I don't know what that one is, but I posted a few of them. So it's Citizen. I was supposed to be Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
Water Blue Bridge. Don't want to see you cry unless it's for happiness. Definitely an AI wrote these. 300 days with winter. Is that instead of 500 days of summer? There's always next season for love. And there's some more here. Mr. Soy instead of Mr. Bean. The Red Mile instead of the Green Mile. Cyber Ghost instead of Ghost in the Shell. 9 samurais instead of 7 samurais. All of you are the best scarecrows, but the enemy is not a sparrow.
Okay.
Cowboy of the Lost Ark instead of Indiana Jones.
That's good.
You lost today, boy, but that doesn't mean you have to accept the facts willingly. Atlantic pirates. 10 years of sailing, 1 day ashore. Back out to Mr. Soy. Then we had this one here, Frank Martin, or Transporter. Tomb Explorer instead of Tomb Raider.
Explorer.
Die Too Easy, or Die Hard. I'm trying, it's so small in this picture. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm going to just deploy the bouncy screen so I can bring up a browser for a moment. Let's see what resolution I originally... right, if I press F11, goes full screen, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's bring that back. So yeah, you are always looking for trouble. Or is trouble always looking for you in the Die Hard one? We've got a Hobbit one here, dwarfs. Travelling far to the west of the Blue Sea, he is drifting green leaf that will return to its roots. Okay. Edge Runner 2059, or Blade Runner. You humans can't believe what I've seen. Dinosaur Park. God decides who are... God decides who your relatives are, and luckily he has given you leeway in choosing your friends. We have Star Trip, Courage to Go Where No One Has Gone Before, Planet War. So that is how freedom fades away with thunderous applause. We have Saving, which would be Saving Private Ryan. 8 for 1. Is it worth it in the end? Harry Potter or The Boy Who Survived. People can't live in dreams. Don't rely on dreams and forget about life. We've got Titanic or Iceberg. A woman's heart is a sea of secrets. Indeed. And then the one that I played it for 7 days for, The Story of the Rings. History becomes legend. Legend becomes myth. But yeah. And Geeky Clown, welcome in there, mate. We were just reviewing a mobile game that I was playing for a little bit. And these are all the daft movies that are that you have in your cinema in the game. And they look like AI knockoffs of... of real movies. I'm just going to deploy the bouncy screen so that I can remember which key it is I need to press to close this. But welcome in there, mate. Hope you've been behaving yourself. We are in fact playing a bit of Farming Sim, though I seem when I tabbed out I was still on cruise control, so I've just been driving into the wall.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit far away there.
Oh bugger. No, tipping. What trouble you been getting yourself up to? Oh, and was that the game that you'd had enough on, Mr. V? Perfect World International. The first MMO ever played. I don't think I've heard of that one. I'm trying to remember what was... There was like on the Xbox 360 there was a mass multiplayer game. It took 12 hours to install it. I played it once, thought this is awful, and then uninstalled it.
Makes sense.
Yep. Luckily, I'd only paid £12 for it. It wasn't too much of a loss. Tip the thing out. There we go. I just got home from roller skating at the park. And a little... I haven't fired up the Pokemon Go for ages. It's the only thing I've ever done of Pokemon. I don't know anything about any of the cartoons or other games or comics or whatever came from it. There's quite a few things around here, like in the village, but they're all just out of reach of the garden. Oh, can I get down there? Can I get down there? There we go. So I can find. I bet this thing's tanker's probably full up by now, is it?
I was almost full, so I just emptied it while I was coming back up.
Alright. He's almost got this there's probably what, 3 stripes left on this little bit?
I would say at least 3, maybe 4. Then I'll move that one.
So I saw some old cartoons and had some cards but didn't understand how to play. Pokemon Go has held the most of your attention. So it's the only thing I know about it, because I've never seen any of the things or played like because like a mountain of the games as well there. I know there was a thing where you could do with the Apple Watch as well, but I can never get it to work. It never seemed to cooperate. I don't even know if that's probably still installed on my watch. Come to think of it. I wonder if that's what eats all the battery. Just like collect them. I'm bad at raids and battle stuff. Yeah, that sounds like just saying like bad at combat. That's exactly what I was saying in our D&D group this afternoon. No good at combat. You know, I'm just there for the laughs. I always find a plan that involves us not having to do any combat. And the combat I do is normally a mick take anyway. It was like the last like big boss we fought. I defeated him with a rolled up magazine. That should tell you the sort of way that we play, or at least the way I play, regardless of what the others that try to take it seriously do. Come on, fake potatoes. But yeah, on the Pokemon Go thing, I've never tried raids or battle stuff at all. I think I've only clicked on the gym thing maybe twice in however many years the game's been going. Was it like 2016 or 17 or something when that came out?
I couldn't tell you.
It was definitely just before I moved here, because I remember in the van. Actually, no, it was just after we moved up north, before even like finding this place to move to here. Because I was with a fella that we met down there. We were driving back in a van to collect the last of our stuff from Cumbria. And I remember we were driving through Aberdeen, and I took the opportunity as I was driving through Aberdeen to collect as much as I could. Mr. Frosty, welcome in there, mate. And 2016, it's got to be around that time, Geeky there. Has to be around that kind of ballpark time. But Mr. Frosty as well, what have you been getting yourself up to? I saw when I got up in the morning, you've been doing a bit of Starfield. I've got that on the schedule for a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to be doing it via cloud gaming though, because the wear and tear, as we discussed last night, the wear and tear that game is going to cause, it's going to burn out your SSDs or mechanical drives. So I'd rather have burnt out somebody else's SSD in the cloud.
As long as it's not yours.
Exactly, I can't afford to replace any more of them. I really need to get that 2 terabyte drive put in. I'm just going to dismantle the desk to do it though. Oh, I have to move the telly as well. I'm looking here and I was saying, yeah, the laser would have to go into the other room. Being sick as a dog. Oh, have you got the plague? You got the dysentery. Sick as a dog this last week and just been playing a bit of Starfield on the S word for short time. You should be saved. Ooh. The dysentery gnome made an appearance. Just anatomy caught dysentery from, I think, from a penguin. And then Bat Metal Frosty then caught it. It got then passed down from just anatomy. But the dysentery gnome made one of his rare appearances. Oh, we're almost at the end of here. Right. Straight up the hill.
We're racing up the hill. Who's going to get there first?
Oh, easily you'll get there first because I'm holding these.
I'm only half
holding these two. Oh, I hit the tree. I couldn't see the tree. I thought, why am I not moving? Well, I've been hearing so many people this week that have been getting sick with the exact same symptoms. Felt the call, I'm here. The special call of dysentery.
Oh, yeah, of course you appear.
for the dysentery gnome. Come on, more power up the hill. You'd like a tow rope to get us up here.
Hello, tree.
Come on, more power. There we go. I feel a lot better now, though, Mr. Frosty. Oh, thinking of things as well, I need to make a modification to the little model that I made. You saw the little keyring, the daft keyring that I made, didn't you? Start unloading. Start unloading. Yeah, I'm just in the right position.
Wow, we're nearly halfway through the contract.
Yeah, it's only taken 2.5 hours. Or hopefully you'll be feeling a bit better there soon there, Mr. Frosty. Is that all emptied out? Yeah, they're both retracting there. I want to have another go with the 3D print. and see if I can make some. Because it went a bit funny, that one, but they were really, really small. Those little ones that I did, they weren't like a massive ones. Just I want to see how the different text elevations would look on it. But like with that in like the laser engraver, I love making daft little things with the laser. Have a look through the arts and crafts sections. You'll see things like the earthquake detectors, the little wooden boxes as well. I'm currently making a one of those wooden boxes that it'll be a special deluxe version, and it'll have the set of our playing cards in them. And I'm also going to see about if I can design some custom dice, and I've got the materials now to line the boxes. So it'll be kind of like the box has a card game and you use the box as a dice tray. But I'm currently designing a little mini card game to play. I'm trying to make it like a chicken themed card game that you can play with a normal deck of cards, some tokens, and a D6. Or possibly a D20, I haven't decided. And into the lid, I want to try and integrate a score, like counter, like a wheel that you can use to count your track some kind of score. But it's a work in progress. It'll be a little while before I've got that nailed down. Love those assigns. You almost made me cry on stream. And the Batman doesn't cry. Yeah, when I show those, if you check your clips, I did clip it out. I think I put the title of. That. I think he likes it, or something along those lines. But I did clip out that bit. Wow, I'm drifting way away from there. This thing here. Little putt. Yeah, just anatomy. Chrissy used to love putt. At some point we'll do a stream day where we'll play all the putt games, all the adventure games. Maybe we'll put a few of the mini games in, but all of the adventure games in one go. But you can see the complete putt series, all of the point and click adventure games, over on the YouTubes. So I did see that clip like 3 days ago. I laughed so hard. Not caught me in 4K. Oh, hang on, I've rotated around here the wrong way. Yeah, Chrissy loves putt. Oh, crikey, we're falling over here. Break.
I lined it up wrong.
I thought the AI was a control. I didn't even see your name above it. I'll do another little loop whilst you
There we go.
line them up.
To see if I can fit it all the way across, but I can't. It's going to need to do one small line.
One little sliver of single line of potatoes, or fake potatoes. Sorry.
Fake potatoes, yes.
Press 3 for cruise control. Press 4 for the women's underwear section.
Or 5 for other options.
Or you're going to put the kettle on for us, Geeky Lamb. Well, thank you for joining us. You behave yourself. Just a splash of milk in mine. No sugar. What's everyone else having?
I've got mine. I'm good.
Actually, I've got another mouthful of this mystery orange stuff. But it's not orange. I don't know what it is, but you know, it's. I've got a full bottle of it, so I've got to get through all of it. Oh, it's so hot. What are we running at right now? Outside it's only 17. 25 point. The sounds of my little babies there. Say little babies, he was a good boy. That was Sage and Onion, the black and white one that was standing up. As I was just saying, that it's 25.7 in the room here. And I see a large string of people contributing to our trip to Australia.
Can I interest you in some degrees? I've got 27.
You can keep it. We need to offset the temperatures.
Keep it.
When I was chatting with Tiramisu when we were playing D&D this afternoon, he was saying it was quite cold where he was at, and I was like, "Can we transpose these these spare temperatures onto you?"
I've got some spare bags. We can put them in.
Yeah, just load them up, parcel them up, and get them sent over. All the putt-puts. Any of you guys used to play any of the putt-put point-and-click games during the... Because the most of them were out in the 90s. I think a couple of them were the early 2000s. Right, I mean, the putt-put ones were more aimed at like children, you know, like teaching like to count and pattern recognition and colours and stuff. But you got like Simon the Sorcerers from the early 90s. And we're playing another point-and-click game as well this week. Once again, JD, thank you so much. I fired it up for 10 minutes this afternoon just to make sure the settings were okay. But I'm looking forward to next Sunday when we play Lost in Play. That was it. I know it in my head. I know it begins with an L. We have Lost in Play, and that's also the lineup as well for the rest of the week. So tomorrow, Spot of Ori, Ori in the Blind Forest, which is an absolutely beautiful game if you just haven't played it before. A bit of the Hunter on Tuesday. We may finish Broken Sword, which is a point-and-click adventure game from '97 on Wednesday. We start the DLC of Alan Wake on Thursday. Continue Mass Effect, where hopefully I won't be ill and we'll be able to do the double ball slap on all the enemies. Fallout New Vegas, where we are completely screwed because we're like just hopeless. I don't know how we could have such a bad playthrough. And then of course Lost in Play and next week. So I'm looking forward to it. If what I what I saw during that like that 10-15 minutes this afternoon, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you will enjoy it. Thank you again there, JD. I used to watch Put Put when I was a kid, so you've seen the old point and click. Come on, more power. Get up the hill. Oh, I hope it's going to turn around. There should be enough for it. It might not.
Yeah,
Actually,
it should come down.
It's not going to like pitch a fit when it gets to the end. Come on, more steam. Slowly moving. I'm hearing a ticking.
The ticking might be your turn signals.
I didn't know there was turn signals in Farming Sim. If I pressed the button, that's triggered that.
Try to look on your stream. I don't see them on.
I can see on the one on the mirror there. On the right. I'll have to get out these trees.
So it's your numpad 3 to do the lights.
Number pad 3. Let's have a little look. Ah.
Yeah. 1 puts the left one on, 3 puts the right one on, and 2 puts both of them on.
Yeah, so that's the hazard lights, which is probably the way that we play. Should be on all the time.
I've always got mine on.
If I had, I got like the special edition of Farming Sim back when it came out for Farming Sim 22, and I've got like the USB thing. If I had a webcam, I would have like the beacon thing on, so whenever we do the thing, I don't know, it's on one of these, isn't it? There must be an option for it somewhere. This thing's got disco lights. Maybe it's just one of these keys. Oh, that does lights. Disco. Oh, more lights. Okay. I'm pressing more buttons and I don't know what's quite happening. All right, the beacons on this one wasn't working, even though it's got them. It wasn't cooperate. But yeah, when you turn it on, it turns it on in game. Yeah, the real one.
The beacons.
Home. Ah, there we go. Full disco. There we go. Get both of those unloaded there. At least they'll all tip both at the same time when you cycle them.
Yeah. Come on, Harvester, you're not done. Move.
Still takes ages for that other one to drop its cargo.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And down the hill we go.
If you want to start emptying the one that I was doing, because once the one you were doing is done, I'm just going to move it.
Aye, that's going to go up the top there, isn't it? Once it's finished its stripe. All that for one row of fake potatoes.
Yeah. It's slowly going up.
You can do animals, but I don't know how to do them. It's one thing that I've never done in any of the farming sim games. The most I've done in the older farming sims, in farming sims 13, 15, and 17, is the chickens. I tried to learn to do the animals in 17 because it's the animal achievement is the only thing that I don't have in the Xbox achievements on Farming Sim 17. I've only ever played 19 once, and that was on stream, and I've never touched them at all in 22 here. It's like half the menus of like things that you can buy, I don't really know what they're for. You know, I just do like the relaxing side of farming sim. You know, I'm not like the hardcore kind of players.
Especially with 21, 21, because you've got the young ones which you can buy cheaper, and then you've got the older ones that you can buy more expensive, but they'll produce much sooner. So you've got 2 different types per animal, along with the different types of animals.
For when you're getting them on the farm.
Yes.
I don't know if we have any animals. I tell you what, just whilst this is doing its thing, I'm gonna jump over to base. We may have a chicken coop, because sometimes they're like down by default. It just depends on the people who made the map. We've got some, I think, bees. I think this is for bees.
Yeah, the bees should be fairly easy.
I don't think there is any on this, but over on, I did like a farming sim week where I did all the versions of a different farming sim every night, and we repeated the same tests every night to see how each game compared. And one of the things we did was we checked the chickens as part of the the test on each of the things. There we go. Accelerate. More power.
Right, time to move this one.
Up the top. Alright, let's wait and see what this one does. So I reckon another 2 hours and this field will be done.
Yeah. Well, why not? We're up till 3 o'clock every morning anyway.
Oh, I don't think I can do much longer. It is so hot. I think I'll probably just get this next double wagon filled, and that's probably where we'll wrap up for the day, because it's just so hot. I'm absolutely dripping here. I want to sit and have the fan blowing in my face. So your head started hurting again looking at your phone for too long. Hashtag blame Chrissy.
Yeah.
Back it up, back it up. What the hell's this AI doing? He's given up. Let's press the free button.
I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, he's going again. He just went momentarily, just stopped. He just gave up. Oh, you off to bed there, JD.
Bye, JD.
I said we'll be wrapping up probably in the next 15 minutes or so as well. But you behave yourself, JD. And go easy on all the frazzles and hula hoops. I don't know how many you've got left. Can't believe how quickly you ate all that shortbread, JD. You didn't save any for your mum. But you have a good night there, JD. And behave yourself. Oh, accelerate. And there we go. Land a little bit more. Definitely need a bigger tractor. Oh, I didn't realise the field curved around over there. Maybe it might take a bit longer to do this field. I forgot that it curved. It got closer to the road as it goes around those trees. Oh, I've drifted too far away. Oh, there we go. It is, you know. I think maybe it's in the next version of Farming Sim. Maybe it's if you miss the thing, it should all just pile up on the ground next to it, and you have to come back with a scoopy thing and scoop it up. Isn't there a trailer you can drive with, and it like because you do that I think for grass or something? Is it?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
I've used it once before.
The forage wagon.
Is that what it is? The one that just has the has the scoopy underneath just to pull it up. Doing 77%. Can I do?
Is this going to be a collision?
I was just looking to see if there was like a cover, because some of these have like a cover you can put on top of them as well, aren't there? Doesn't look like there's an option for that on this one.
No.
%. Wow, this equipment looks scruffy. Just as well, most of it's a rental. They never said it had to be returned clean.
No. I mean, they're not getting it back clean.
I remember when I had a courtesy car from the RAC, and the thing was that you were given the car with a full tank and you had to return it with a full tank. The courtesy cars that I used to get from Mazda, they were handed to you with the red light on, and I always made sure I used all of that petrol. I mean, I had to drive down to London because my car wasn't ready in time. I was like, well, no, I've got no choice. I've got to go down to London now. So, and I drove down, I filled up the tank, drove down, and then on the way back, I didn't want to return the car with a full tank. So I pulled over for petrol 5 times, and I was putting like a squirt in it every service station from London to Newcastle. I put like £5 in here, £10 in there. Okay, up the hill.
Out of curiosity, did you charge it on your debit card or by cash?
It would have just been on my normal bank card, the debit card, when I was getting it.
When you looked at your bank statement, did it say 5p?
I had like 5s, 10s, and all the way up the country. Oh, that was a trip as well. All the way to London in a bloody Suzuki Swift.
Oh.
I mean, that thing, they're so small. My bloody my knees were around my ears.
And you're not even exaggerating.
So I tell them if they ever give me that car again, I'd pay the like £100 excess and I'd drive it off the pier. They never gave us that as a courtesy car again. Oh, is Vat Metal Frosty going to put the kettle on for everybody?
Oh.
I said, just a splash of milk in mine. No sugar.
You would think in the hot weather I would be drinking cold drinks. I've had 4 cups of tea, a hot chocolate and a coffee.
Aye.
That's probably
So,
why
yeah,
I'm losing.
I don't know how many cups of tea I've had today as well. Is that in the right place? There we go. It just wasn't far enough across. Offload that. Yay!
Oh, because I'm starting on the slopey bit, I've got no power.
Oh, what's this? Is that a sticky outy bit? Oh no, it's just it looked like something that would slide sideways. But okay, I think for this evening we've done at least half of this field. Actually, what is the percentage at? 48%. We got 48% of the thing done.
I would say 48% is not bad for a 2-hour stream.
Yeah, we not done too bad at all. But we're going to wrap up there this evening. It is so hot. I need to stick this fan on and blast cold air. Let's go and see this person here. They're a bit of a psycho, so let's they're a bit mad. So tomorrow we'll be back with Ori in the Blind Forest, followed by other things. It's too hot to think right now. But Mr. V, thank you so much for the 6 months sub, and thank you as well to special guest star tonight, Mr. Smith.
I resemble that remark.
Okay, let's press some buttons here. You're playing something called Generation Zero? I don't know that game, so we'll go and give him some abuse whilst he's playing that. So thank you all for watching, have a good night, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying our journey and would like to see more, then please rate, comment, favourite and subscribe in whichever manner your chosen platform allows. If you are joining us on Twitch, Mixer or YouTube, where we have loads more for you to watch, from our live streams to all our episodes across our various series. You can also drop by and say hi over on Discord, where we chat about everything from Minecraft to books and movies to tabletop games. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day.
See